Here we want to find the integral of 4x to the third minus 5x squared plus 10x plus 25 divided by x squared plus 4 plus 3 squared. And so first let's decompose this fraction here. And so notice that x squared plus 4x plus 3, the factors are x plus 3, x plus 1. And we can rewrite this as x plus 3 squared times x plus 1 squared. This is a repeating linear factor of 3. This is a repeating linear factor of x plus 1. And so for x plus 3 squared, we will write it as 8 over x, we will write it as x, for the decomposition, we will do x plus 3 to the first, and then x plus 3 to the second. And then for the x plus 1 squared, it will be x plus 1 to the first, and x plus 1 to the second. This is a linear factor, and so we just need to have a constant on the top. This is a linear factor, and so we just have a constant on the top. And this is a linear factor, and so we have C, and linear factor, so we have D. And so now to find the coefficients A, B, C, D, one way to do it is what we can do is multiply the left side here, multiply this quotient by the common denominator of x plus 3 squared, x plus 1 squared. So multiply this quotient right here. In fact, multiply each fraction by x plus 3 squared, x plus 1 squared. So this is one way of doing it. And so we multiply A by the common denominator of x plus 3 squared, x plus 1 squared. B, same thing. C, the same thing. And D, the same thing. And so on the left side, on the left-hand side, x plus 3 squared divided by x plus 3 squared is 1. X plus 1 squared divided by x plus 1 squared is 1. So what's left is just this. And then here we have x plus 3 squared times x plus 1 squared dividing by x plus 3. Then we get A times x plus 3 times x plus 1 squared. Here the x plus 3 squared divided by x plus 3 squared is 1. So what's left is b times x plus 1 squared. And then for this one, x plus 1 squared dividing by x plus 1 would be x plus 1. And so we have c times x plus 3 squared times x plus 1. And then this last part here, x plus 1 squared divided by x plus 1 squared is 1. So what's left is d times x plus 3 squared. And this equation right here is to be true for all x. So we can let x be negative 3, because when x is negative 3, this will be 0. And then we can also let x be negative 1 in the process of finding A, B, C, D. So let x be negative 3. So in the place of x, we have negative 3, and negative 3. And then replace all x's over here. Replace each x with negative 3. All of this will be negative 158. This will be 0, so this is 0. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2 squared, which is 4, so we have 4b. This will be 0, and this will be 0. So we get negative 158 is equal to 4b, and so b will be negative 79 over 2. Now let x be negative 1. In the place of x, we have negative 1, negative 1, negative 1. All of this will be 6. So the left side will be 6. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. So this will be 0. This will be 0. This will be 0. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So we have 4d. So d will be 3/2. And so we found b, we found d, but we also need to get c, and we also need to get a and c. And so next, we just pick some real small numbers to find a and c. So let x be 0, and then replace x with 0, 0, 0, and then we get 0 for x on the left hand side also. All of this will be 25. This is 3. This is 1 square, so it'll be just 3. So we have 3a. This will be 1 square, so we get 1b. This is 3 square, which is 9 times 1, so we get 9c. This is 3 square, so we get 9d. We have earlier we have b is negative 79 over 2, and d is 3/2. And so if we move some terms around, so move this to the left side, which becomes plus, and then move this to the left side, which becomes minus. So we have 3a plus 9c, and then all of this will be 51. So all of this will be 51. Divide everything by 3. We get a is the plus 3c is equal to 17. And then move the 3c here, move it to the right side. We get a to 17 minus 3c. And now let x be 1. So in the place of x, we have 1, 1, 1. And then all of this will be 34. And for the right hand side, we have 16a plus 4b plus 32c plus 16d. Again, b is negative 79/2 over 2, and then d is 3/2. This will be negative 158. This is 24. And then move this right here, move it to the left side. And it become plus. And then move this to the left side and it becomes minus. And so all of this will be 168. And then we have 16a plus 32c. But 8 is 17 minus 3c. So in the place of a, we have 17 minus 3c. 16 times 17 is 272, and then minus 40ac. Minus 40ac plus 32c is negative 16c. And then subtract 272, we get negative 104. And divide both sides by negative 16. And we get 13 halves. 8 is equal to 17 minus 3c, so it will be 17 minus 3 times 13 halves, which is negative 5 halves. And so now the integral, the original integral, becomes negative 5 halves over x plus 3, negative 79 over 2 over x plus 3 squared. C is 13 halves, so we get 13 over 2 plus x plus 1. D is 3 halves, so we get 3 halves over x plus 1 squared. And then we need to integrate each quotient here separately. This is negative 5 halves times the integral of 1 over x plus 3. This is negative 79 halves times the integral of 1 over x plus 3 squared. And then this is 13 halves times the integral of 1 over x plus 1. And this is 3 halves times the integral of 1 over x plus 1 squared. This is 1 over x plus 3, so the antiderivative will be natural log of x plus 3. This is 1 over x plus 3 squared. Using u substitution method, let u be x plus 3, then we'll end up with x plus 3 to the negative 1 divided by 1, which is the same as this is minus, negative, so it becomes plus, and if we move this right here to the bottom, we get 1 over x plus 3. This integral is the natural log of x plus 1, and then the integral for 1 over x plus 1 squared, use u substitution method, let u be x plus 1. And we'll end up with x plus 1 to the negative 1 dividing by negative 1, which we rewrite as 1 over x plus 1. And since we have a negative 1 here, this becomes minus, and this is the answer.